Okay. It's 7:03 and I call to order the January 20th meeting of the Chesterfield Planning Commission. Ask that everyone silence their phones, which I didn't do either. Okay. Let's get this. And put on mute. Okay, all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yeah, I do. I will now take roll. Kathy Vosberg, she is excused. Eric Heiderer, he's excused. Ralph Jaworski.
Here.
James Klinowski here. Carl Leonard is excused. We have Rick LaBelle.
Here.
Brian Carr.
Here.
Mark Renault.
Here.
Rich Brokart.
Here.
Okay. I will make a motion to approve the minutes from the January 6th meeting.
Support.
We have a motion, we have support. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Make a motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
Support.
We have a motion, we have support. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Public comments, anyone wishing to speak, you have 3 minutes. I see no one. Public hearings, we have none. Regular agenda, Oak Hill LLC, site plan number 2025-10. It's parcel ID 15-09-21-2001-018. Jonathan, we have some updates to what was in our packets. Would you like to go over those?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The plans that you do have in the packet are up to date. I would like to apologize. I was working with the applicant as they were addressing the concerns from the Giffords-Webster review from, I believe it was January 6th. So they did make the corrections and sent them to me. I did make sure they were included in your packet. I did forget to update Jill and Ava on that. So I'm going to go through real quick just on page 2 of their review. There was the list for the items for the applicant review. And then I'll go through what they did to change it. So the height of the building was corrected to the midspan at 25 feet 3 inches. That's corrected on sheets A3 and B2. The recreation area was corrected and shown on the landscape plan LS1. And they did also provide the equation for that. 500 square feet per unit for 44 units is 22,000 square feet required. They are proposing 26,630 square feet, and then the area to the would be the southeast. They are showing a pathway in there with some picnic tables. Let's see, and they did also state that the recreation space was more oriented towards adult recreation since it's a condo complex. The separation between buildings 1 and 2 was corrected to 30 feet, and that's shown on C2 and 3. The calculations on the concrete percentage is in the table on C2. A 20-foot wide landscape area corrected on sheet C2. Unit trees added to the LS1, the landscape plan, in front of each unit, and a note stated which trees are for units and parking. The clear vision triangles were added to C2 and C3. I believe, do not have the land or the lighting plan yet, unless they have it with them. But I did indicate that would be something I would be comfortable reviewing administratively, if the planning commission is okay with that. The site criteria was corrected on sheet C2, and bicycle parking spaces were added to C2, and then the trash enclosure states that the finish is brick to match the building. So those were all the changes that were updated in the plan since the last GIFL's review. I did verify that all those changes are accurate. There was a couple items for planning commission discussion in the GIFL's review that I'll turn over to Ava if she wants to go over those. But I will note that I did cover the one comment determined if separate adult and youth recreation areas are needed. That can still be discussed by the commission, but they did put forth the statement that it was geared towards adult recreation.
Okay, thank you. Ava, would you like to go over the further review?
Yes. So let's see, for further review from the Planning Commission, the applicant proposed water and sewer for the site, which should be reviewed by the Planning Commission. And then Jonathan just discussed the adult and youth recreation areas. And I believe one moment. I think besides just the consideration of diversity of the trees for the frontage landscaping, as well as the consideration of the applicant for electric vehicle preparation, I believe Jonathan covered everything else from the review, but if there are any other questions for me, I'll be happy to answer.
Okay, I'll bring it back to the commission. Mr. Brokart, anything from you?
Thank you, Mark. I'm not sure I understand I understand what you said, adult recreation area is there. I see 6,350 square feet, and I'm thinking it should be larger than that. Am I missing something?
It was corrected. Jonathan announced the correction.
So what was the correction, Jonathan?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
For the adult recreation space? I'm seeing 6,350. You corrected that to what amount?
On the plan, on the landscape plan, it shows that they are providing two separate areas, one of 22,430 square feet and the other one at 4,200 for a total of 26,630.
I'm all set, thank you.
Mr. Renault?
I was waiting to hear from the applicant, so I'm good for right now.
Okay, we'll bring him up.
I would, yeah.
Questions for the applicant?
Well, didn't we want the applicant to talk first? Okay, I was just asking.
This one right here? Okay, thank you. So Scott Duffin, I'm a professional engineer with Project Control Engineering. We've obviously prepared the site plan, working with Eric on the architecture and landscape architecture. Whatever questions you have, I'd be happy to answer them.
Okay, Mr. Renault, you had some questions for him. Now we'll get it right.
Actually, my biggest question was the recreation area, but that's been resolved, and based on everything Jonathan said, I'm all set.
Okay, you're clear where those were shown on the plans? Okay.
Okay, Mr. Carr?
Yeah, I have a few questions. I mean, overall, I thought with the corrected plans, that you addressed, I thought for the most part, there's not a lot of questions, but the one question I wanted to ask are any of these units ADA accessible? Like, will they be built, so that handicap?
Like inside or?
Yeah,
access
like
to
just
it?
that are any of them going to be like prepped for ADA, or is it just? all regular.
Yeah, question?
We would like to have a couple of units.
If the applicant could come up and state their name and use a microphone.
Hi, everyone. This is Hendrik Kelly, owner of this company, and I would like to build a couple of those units, just to have them. All the doors are already 36 inches. We're not gonna build any ramps or anything to have them there, but definitely thought about it. They're not on the plans or anything like that, but if we
Yeah.
ever need to put a ramp up there, it's something that we can come to us and talk about. But as of right now, we're not on the plans.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, just because that's a big trend, you know, trying to, for inclusivity and I know there's nothing in the ordinance. I was just asking if you're a volunteer. I can't. But I know I've done a lot of research on it and I do a lot of building and I know that's the big push that a lot of communities are looking at revising, you know, to incorporate that, right? At least one unit or, you know, whatever it'll end up being. But I was just curious if you're going to do that or not. And just because, you know, if that was the case, you know, just where the handicap parking spaces were, right? So that they were adjacent to that type of a unit, but understood. So, another question I had was, if you look at the parking, so there's to the south, you see like there's the parking spaces, to the south. Yeah, I'll point it out for you. So these right here, right? If you look at those, you can show the owner. So all your other parking spaces are adjacent so that when somebody gets out of their car, they can just walk to the sidewalk and walk from like the parking lot to a paved area. And they're always on a paved controlled area, right? Those spaces, they have to, it looks like walk on grass to get to the sidewalk, which then takes them to their units. And I was just wondering if that was intentional, just because, like I said, the rest of them, you have the walkways right up to the parking lot, which is nice because you can just get out of your car, especially like say in the wintertime, right? Now those people are going to go over in theory like a snowbank or have to walk on mud. And so I was just curious to know. Oh, these right here. These spaces right there. Yeah, those. Yeah, the ones in the middle there, well, I mean, in middle, it's the same theory, but I'm assuming the people that are parking there are going to go across the parking lot to buildings 4 and 5. But those in particular, they're going to go right to their units in building 3. And I was just curious what what the ground material was there so that they can be able to walk, you know, on safe, hard surfaces, you know what I mean?
So between the parking stalls and the.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, I was just curious.
I don't know if the landscaping plan has addressed that yet, but that's certainly something we can look at as they put that together, like a grass material or something a little bit more.
Can you use the microphone, please, so it's recording?
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so I was saying that I'm not sure that's been addressed yet in terms of what that ground cover will look like at this point, but that's something certainly we could address as we go maybe into the construction drawings or now.
Well, yeah, just because, you know, one of the things we look at, right, is vehicular and pedestrians, right, and how that traffic flows, which you know that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just looking at that, you know, obviously, you know, going around, you can say, okay, you can see where people are going to park for which respective building, right? And you can tell that the people that are in that, say, southwest corner of building 3, they're going to park in those spots, right? And so right now, in particular, the wintertime, right, I mean, they're gonna have to walk over either mud or snow or snow banks, right? Because, you know, with snow management, right, they're just gonna push all that snow in that grass area if it's grass. So, just a thought that it would be nice if you could consider, you know, the future tenants and how they're gonna walk to their building. I think would be nice to address there. The trail material. What is the material of the trail that you're anticipating right now? You know, for the trail itself, is it like going to be a stone, like a crushed stone? Is it concrete?
That's a great question. I know that was what Eric, his plans, let me just double check and see if it's stated on here.
I think you're talking about limestone.
Limestone?
Okay, like a crushed limestone.
Crushed limestone.
Yeah, because it compacts and somewhat pervious. Okay. All right, that's good. That was good. I was curious what that was. And then my last question are the bioswales. So I didn't see anything in here other than just like, you pop some trees in there, you're like, hey, tree type B, whatever. So in my experience with bioswales and doing quite a few of them in many states, and in particular, state of Michigan, typically we like, typically almost everywhere I've ever done it, you use native plants to Michigan, right? And so a lot of times they're filled with wildflowers or grasses, things that don't have to be maintained. It cleans the stormwater, right? And then eventually goes to the retaining pond and, and it's cleaned and out. I didn't see any of that. Is that the plan, is to try to do something, or is it just grass like a swale?
Yeah, I think that's open to, as we get into the final design of it, that we could certainly look at that. Yeah, it could go either way with the landscaping, that does occur in a lot of different places. So
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying on that front.
Well, only because you use the word bioswale and not just swale.
Yeah.
Like if you use the word swale, I'd be like, all right, it's grass, right?
Yeah.
It's ugly. It's just a ditch, collects water, moves out. But you use the term bioswale, which means typically there's native plants that filter the water. Again, you know the routine. I mean, you do the thing, right? And I would encourage the bioswale because it's attractive. It's great for our native plants, right? It's great for our insects and everything else that goes along with it. It's just good all around, right? That's why bioswales are becoming really popular, and I don't think we have an ordinance requiring it, but
Yeah.
again, you use the term bioswale, and so it would have been nice to see if you guys are doing that, because that's a great thing for the community, that's all. So it'd be great
Yeah,
to
I
see
think
it.
it's going to be a mix of landscaping and
Yeah.
grass in there. That's-
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would encourage it. I mean, I think it'd be great for your tenants and great for the community, and
Right.
so. All
That's a
right,
good comment.
that's all my questions, so thank you.
Okay. You price it out from there.
Yeah, that we can address, that's a pretty simple.
Yeah.
Mr. LaBelle?
I have 3 questions. When do you think we can have the photometric plan for the lighting?
The,
That's been ordered.
If you could use the microphone, please.
couple weeks is, I think, what it is, but
Yeah, my name's Keith Plank. I'm actually a real estate broker in the transaction, and I've talked to the other engineer involved a half hour ago, and he said he ordered it from a contractor that specializes in just that. And to answer your question directly, probably within a week to 2 weeks at the most.
Okay. Secondly, I take the letters from Selfridge seriously. The water retention on the property, are they detention ponds or are they actual retention ponds? Where there be sitting water where ducks and geese and wildlife can live in?
the way it's shown on here now is there'll be a permanent water level at the bottom of it, and then it would fill above that as storms come through.
Okay. Lastly, and I really looked at your plan, I just don't know what you can do, but there's a dumpster in the front of the property. And we don't like dumpsters in front of the buildings in the front of the property. Is there anything that you can do with that dumpster location?
You're talking about one of these two here?
The one on the north.
Yep. See, it's in front of the buildings. I mean, I looked at, circulation of trucks and how a garbage truck's gonna get in and out of there to empty the dumpster. Is there anything else that you can do? I do see some landscaping around it, but again, we'd like to have the dumpsters out of the way, not in the front of the property.
So the thought process for that was they had to move it back into the property, because if not, it would be within the setback. Now, if you look at what's behind that setback, where are we at exactly? I'm sorry. There's really, that's the back. The setback comes up to a retention pond, so we didn't think there was a problem putting it farther towards the retention pond, but my discussion with Jonathan, it's like, well, that might be something that you'd have a problem with, so we pushed it back outside the setback. I don't think there's a problem for us moving it towards the retention pond.
No, I mean, we prefer to have it behind the buildings, more into your property, not when you're going down 23 Mile Road, you look over and you see a dumpster.
Well, I think to your point, if we do it there, there's landscaping there already and there's a pond, so I don't think you're gonna see it from 23 for sure, but,
Is there any other considerations for spots? And also, when the garbage truck comes in, he's gonna have to go all the way around the property to get to that dumpster and then spin his truck around and get the other one.
We tried to provide the dumpsters so they were convenient to the
Understood.
tenants.
Understand that.
But I mean, I think the owner, Mr. Cali, is open to whatever, if anybody has any type of ideas where they'd prefer the dumpster, that's really a kind of a moot point for us. If somebody's got a better idea, we're willing to listen to it for sure.
As far as the dumpster go, I'd like to make it a little bit easier also on the tenants. That's why we kind of split them the way that they are.
And I completely understand that. I appreciate
You
that.
know, imagine
People
working in
wanna
the
walk
middle
a
of
long
the
way.
winter, you know, walking from one side. If you put both of them, let's say all the way in the back where that one is in the back here, you know, building one or whatever building number this is, it would not be fair for this guy, middle of the winter, to walk all the way up there, especially right now, walking in here from my car was not very, very fun, you know? But there is plenty of trees around it. This pond, I believe it was a dentist office. This guy has a bunch of really big trees here and around this whole property. There's no way anyone gonna see it from 23 Mile. But if you do have any suggestions, we're open to it. We just wanna get this, you know.
And I completely understand, and I completely understand it's inside of a enclosure, but when you watch the gentleman emptying it, he takes it, he drops it on the ground, he doesn't always put it back.
Believe me, he's in a heated truck. He doesn't
He's not
mind.
gonna put it back. It's gonna sit outside, it's gonna sit outside the enclosure. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Mr. Jaworski?
Nothing for me.
From the chair, there was some mention of a water and sewer issue. What was that?
I'm not sure I think one of the review comments in there was just making sure that the commission is okay with the system that's out there. That's what I saw in the packet. You know, there's an existing 24-inch sewer that goes through the side and then an existing 16-inch water line.
Mr. Chair, isn't that an engineering issue?
I would think so, yes.
Yeah.
But it wasn't actually. Jonathan, do you have some clarity on that?
It is a standard in the ordinance that there be adequate capacity. The engineering department did review and provided the applicant with information where the utilities are located, so they did not have any concerns.
Okay, thank you.
If I may, the engineering department did send an email with an approval, and it's kind of a stamp, and I talked to the engineering department personally, and they said, well, we looked at it, looks okay, but they can't approve anything until we do a final engineering for the whole building. So, but they did the standard stamp. I says, well, I asked Chris at the engineering department, is there anything that we're missing on the plans? He says, nope, we're good for right now until you submit engineering plans. But they says there's adequate water and adequate sewer. You know, the capacities are stuff that's going to have to be, you know, checked with the engineering.
Okay, thank you. All right, so plans, up to location. With the exception, I would say, of the lighting plan, we're just about close. Do we want to act on this tonight? That's the question. Okay. Everybody's okay with acting tonight? Okay. Good. Okay, Ralph. Okay, I will entertain a motion.
There we go. Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve Site Plan 2025-10 with the exception of the photometric plan being reviewed by the Planning Department and approved by them as submitted.
Support.
We have a motion, we have a support. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Okay, presentation, reports, discussion, anything from Giffords Webster? Jonathan, anything from the planning department?
Thank you. Sorry to keep you so cold outside.
I just wanted to touch briefly with the planning commission. If you've been following the news or saw the board meeting, the last board meeting, data centers are a new hot topic item that a lot of communities are being faced with. So it was discussed at the last board meeting. So the planning commission is going to be tasked with looking at our ordinance, reviewing it, making sure that we are adequately prepared. So I would just say to start thinking about that and get ready for the very near future for that to become a discussion item. And the other thing is that we are due this year for our 5-year review of the master plan. So we will be coming up with a timetable shortly to kick that off. So 5 years already. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. Planning commissioner comments. Mr. Brokart?
Are we going to be provided any data center requirements, what the objectives are, et cetera? From Giffords Webster? Yes.
Yes. We will. We'll give you some of the background research that we've been working on. We've been working with a few communities on this type of regulation. So you won't have to feel like you're coming in just to look at the ordinance and say yes or no. So we'll have some information for you. I know that we did share our newsletter back in October or November after the planning conference. So that's kind of a basic set, but we'll give you some other information soon so that you can have that, and then we'll have our conversations about it.
I'm all set, thank you.
Mr. Renault?
I am all set. Thank you.
Mr. Carr?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Okay. Mr. LaBelle?
Nothing for me, thank you.
And the chair has nothing. So, motion to adjourn. Oh, too quick. We have a motion, we have support. All in favor? Aye. Motion